we are talking about the average firstborn. How do you manage a firstborn husband? You must be extremely patient. If you are also firstborn, your home is a battlefield because you will never stop claiming rights. If you are lastborn, you are in trouble. You will be complaining throughout the marriage unless you understand that your husband is not your father and only your father can give you the emotional attention that lastborn usually seeks. In other words, let's go to lastborn. The lastborn is a spoilt brat. The lastborn wants everybody to take care of him or her. The lastborn is always suspecting that somebody will cheat him or her, somebody will ride him or her because he or she is the youngest. And so when he or she marries, he transfers these feelings, these attitudes into the marriage. You know, every small thing that the husband or the wife wants to correct is seen as oppression, is seen as wickedness. And he or she keeps saying, it is not your fault. If I did not marry you, you won't maltreat me. So the lastborn always feels that he or she is being maltreated. So if you are married to a firstborn and you are not a firstborn and you are not a lastborn, then you are an average human being. You must understand his mentality. You must understand his idiosyncrasies. He's the chairman in his family, and so you must give him that chance. You must not try to contest the chairmanship with him. Don't contest leadership with a husband who is a firstborn. Let's go to the woman. If you are married to a firstborn wife, in trouble because she will claim rights. She will claim equality with you. She will expect you to accept respect as reciprocal. Every firstborn woman, every firstborn wife believes that respect is reciprocal. That she will almost say, in spite of her faith, that even obedience is reciprocal. If you want me to obey you, or you to obey me. It is not because she's a bad woman. It is because that is the way they are wired. So if you marry a firstborn woman, there are two husbands. One must manage the other, and one must not expect the other to change in nature. You don't expect your wife, who is a firstborn, who is the leader of a family, who backs order, who gives order, who takes report, who is consulted. You know, the firstborn is always consulted. The parents will report other children to the firstborn. Now, your wife will not report her children to you. She will deal with them. She will never be satisfied the way you manage her children because she's a firstborn. She has a peculiar way of looking at human management. She's the only person that can manage all the children, including you, because she's firstborn. She's been acting the mother. She's acting mother, acting mommy. And when she comes to your house as a wife, she wants to continue to be a mother. And then you can never be right. So if firstborn wife, Arafat, Super Abdul, mute now. Host, mute them now. Please mute them. So if you expect your wife, who is a firstborn, to come and cooperate with you, and then to appreciate whatever you have done, you may be joking. A firstborn wife is a critic. She will criticize everything. So how do you manage a firstborn wife? You study her, then you exploit her. They are usually very skillful, very intelligent, and they're very efficient as managers. Give her task. If you don't, she will use her abundance of intelligence to cause trouble for you. So give her task. Always put her in position of responsibility. Always ask her to please manage situations for you, and then you will see good result. But don't expect her to give you report with respect. She will give you report with criticism. She will shift blame. A firstborn does not accept blame. A firstborn wants somebody else to take the blame for whatever mistakes he or she makes. So when you marry as a firstborn, as a wife, well, you have a lot of tasks to do, you have a lot of patience to imbibe into your life, and you have a lot of counseling, you have a lot of overlooking to do. But basically, the treatment of a firstborn wife is giving her task and then just expecting results, and don't expect her to be respectful. It is not in her blood to respect people. Even when she respects, it is because she's extremely good. And for all these things that sound to be negative about the average firstborn, whether man or woman, are actually attributes. They're not negative. They're attributes that a patient and intelligent spouse can use to exploit them and gain maximally from them. Except where firstborn marry firstborn, or firstborn marries lastborn, there will be trouble. Now let's go to lastborn. Lastborn is a very emotional person. He or she has no younger sibling. So he or she expects everybody to take care of him or her. The parents will do, the firstborn will do, but the middle children will not. In fact, they would think that you are pampering him too much. The firstborn male may treat the last child, who is a female, he would treat her well until he marries. If he marries and the wife protests the emotional attachment to the last female child, then the man is likely to hate the female child. What usually happens is that they may also have female first children, female first child, and then the table will turn, and then they become confused. They will now find out that all their gra-gra, all their pride, all their arrogance will fizzle out when they have a first female child. If they have a first female child, is a torture, it's a serious torture. So two masters will not be able to control the table. So we won't have two chairmen doing well. They never do, and they won't ever do well. Now, the last one is always expecting care, love, protection, and so on. But when she marries, she's in trouble because she will never see anything good in what the man does. An average last child that is married, whether to an average other children or to first child or to a last child like her, she's looking for her father, and she won't ever find her father. So she will be irrational most of the time. The last child is always complaining. There is nothing that satisfies the last child. So when you marry a last child, don't bother about her complaints. She will complain a lot. When you marry a last child as a man, he's likely to marry more wives. A last child man has the tendency to be promiscuous because the care that a woman will give a last child man will never be enough. So he's looking for his mother, who is not usually around. The last child usually does not enjoy the mother for too long, especially in polygamous setting. So she's looking for her mother and father. She won't see it in her husband and her mother-in-law. And so the tendency to be spoiled, to expect everybody to worship her, everybody to take care of her, will piss everybody off. And the response of people to this misdemeanor will be considered as oppression and wickedness by her. So if you're not careful, you will just find that you and your wife are always in conflict, always solving problems, always, talking, always having something or another to talk about in terms of complaint, in terms of dissatisfaction, in terms of protest. It is because your wife is a last born, and the last born is not usually satisfied with little. She wants a particular kind of care and love that do not exist. The last born man, too, I've said it, is also emotional, and he would think that the wife is not responsible. The wife that he is looking for is his mother. His mother, like I said, will not be too long around. So he will have an utopian idea of what a mother is. And because he won't see his mother, he will not be satisfied with his wife, who cannot replace his mother. That is the last child. Now we go to the only child. The only child combines the negative attitudes of the firstborn and the lastborn. He or she has no senior. He also has no junior. So they are arrogant, they are spoiled, they are emotional, they are permanently suspicious. They suspect that everybody wants to be wicked to them. So if you're married to an only child as a wife, if your wife is an only child, you must be extremely careful, because everything that you want to set right will be considered as an attempt to be wicked to her. And she will tell herself, it is not your fault. If I did not leave my parents to come and marry you, you won't be maltreating me like this. She will not know that her parents were not treating her well. They were pampering her because she is the only child. She expects the way the mother and father took care of her to be exactly the way the husband must take care of her. It must be exactly the same way her mother and father-in-law must take care of her. If there's any deviation, there is problem. This lady will switch off. She will take her love away, and you will be show kafila. Mute her now. Once there is any little deviation, the husband is wicked. The same thing with the only child that is a man. Well, there's a little difference. The only child that is a man also is spoiled. He's emotional too. He wants to be pampered. He wants everybody to take care of him. He wants everybody to love him. He has an utopian idea of love and care. But unlike the woman, the only child man is authoritative, authoritarian, high-handed, and brutal. Brutal. Brutal, why? Because there are no siblings that grow with him. If he grew up as the only child of his mother, but not of his father, he suspects every other child in the family, and he does not like them. He may not hate them, but he does not like them. He does not like them because he's alone. Everybody will be on one side, he will be in the opposition. This is the game that he will play out in his life throughout. So he will be the only odd person in the family when he marries. He will not like the family of his wife. It is worse if she is the wife, an only child wife. We suspect everybody. So he does not like any member of her husband's family. She prefers to be the only person in the life of her husband. And so, except if the husband is, very crafty, well endowed spiritually, she will not get friends. She wouldn't have any friend in the family of the husband because she would treat everybody like the step siblings. That is because of where she's coming from. And this is also natural. It is not that the only child is bad. It is just that the circumstances that surround the only child makes him or her a very difficult spouse. The only child woman is possessive. She wants her husband alone and she wants him for herself alone. She does not like the idea of the husband, marrying, loving and showing love to any other person because she feels, rightly or wrongly, that nobody showed love to her when she was growing up. So when she now has her own children, she's very, very possessive of them, very, very protective of them, and she will never think that the husband can take care of her children. So you find this situation playing out in every uh, average only child marriages. Now let's go to the new topic. The new topic is the twins. The twins are very, very special. Let's take the men. The men are easy to understand, but women are very complex. The twin brother believes that there is only one person in this world, that is his brother. There's only one intelligent person in this world, that is his brother. There's only one good person in this world, that is his brother. So what the twin brothers are looking for is their brothers. When they marry, they want the like of either their brother, which is not possible, or their mother. If the wife is not like their mother in any way, they will only manage her. Then the problem with them is this. When one of them complains about his wife, the other looks for the same complaint in his own wife, even if this does not apply. What I mean is this. If Taye complains that his wife is lazy, to Kehinde, who never saw laziness in his wife, will look for means of saying his wife is also lazy. They usually think that whatever the other thinks is the right thing. So they do not have problem condemning their wives. And if one of them says they should divorce their wives, the two of them will divorce their wives. It's very difficult. When you marry a twin brother, don't make the mistake of mentioning his twin brother, for good or for bad. If you dare mention his brother, there will be trouble. And if you make one of them do what the other is not ready, you, the wife, have created permanent enmity between two brothers, but it is you who suffer. Because you won't enjoy your spouse, whom you dislocated from his brother. They cannot be separated. They are very difficult as husbands. Only a very patient woman can manage twin brothers. Once they are dislocated, one will gradually fall, the other will gradually rise. Once their wives separate them, one of the wives does not want them to be together. One will continue to sink, the other will continue to rise. And you know, Yorubas, they will read spiritual meanings to it. It is just the separation. Once you marry a twin brother, don't let him separate from his twin brother. As for what we found in the average, there are excellent twin sisters, very excellent twin sisters, quite objective, quite intelligent. At any rate, an average twin is extremely intelligent. An average twin is extremely intelligent. When they are women, they are extremely intelligent, extremely crafty, extremely mischievous. Unlike the boys, unlike the twin brothers, a twin sister is waiting for the other twin sister to complain about her husband. When she does, she will not complain about her own husband. Unlike the man, when the man complains about his wife, his twin brother will look for similar complaint in his own wife. They will both conclude that women are bad. But the twin sister, once her sister complains about her husband, she protects her own. She goes back home to look for similar thing, and she tries to correct her husband. If her husband is worse than her sister's husband, she will not complain. She will do repairs. She will do advocacy. She will do image laundry, so that the natural jealousy among women will play out. The sister will continue to feel bad that she made mistake in marrying her own spouse. She will not know that, like many women like that ordinarily, when a woman complains about her husband, the other woman that hears the complaint will not complain about her own husband. Even if her husband is worse, she will only heave a sigh of relief that, oh, you don't know what you are enjoying. And if her husband is better, she will only laugh. And an average woman will open her mouth so wide to start saying the good side of her husband. But the twin, she will not talk. She will make the other twin feel that her husband is extremely good, high above the husband of the other twin sister, and she will make her sister feel miserable, even if her own husband is worse. These are the things that we have managed for so long, for more than 35 years, and we are daily surprised that there is no way a twin sister will know that her sister is deceiving her, because twins have the tendency to trust each other. A twin will never think any evil Ordinarily, a twin will never think evil about his or her twin brother or sister. But when it comes to their marriages, they are not good advisors to each other. They cannot manage each other's families. They will need an outsider to manage their families. Now, when the husbands of twin sisters get to know, especially when one is always complaining and the other does not complain, it leads to, mild psychiatric problem for the husband. David is who is a twin, that she's being fooled because it is difficult to come between twins, whether they are males or females. Very difficult. You can't separate them. But marriage usually separates them. When the husband is not careful, this resistance to separation and insistence that whatever is happening to me must happen to my twin brother or sister will usually ruin the families. So when you need special attention because the twin is worse when he or she is firstborn. Is worst when he or she is lastborn. And then if it's ordinary, like many people who have elder and younger siblings, they do not trust any other person except themselves. They look at people as if they are not perfect, as if they are different. They think they are the only perfect children and only perfect beings. They look at others as, how can you come alone? You don't have a peer, but this thing is inside them. It's not something they say. Sometimes they're not even turning in their minds. So this is where I think we should stop tonight, so that it can be interactive for a longer term. Whatever we are not able to decide, everything we have said is about the average. There are exceptional twins, exceptional firstborns, exceptional lastborns, exceptional only child. But on the average, this is what we found on the field. With or without faith, we have peculiarities in experiences when you marry first, last, and only child. You have severe peculiarities of tough emotional stress, very tough emotional stress and distress when you marry a twin sister. You will be extremely tough to deal with a twin brother, but you'll be extremely to manage a twin sister as a wife. This is my conclusion tonight. I want to listen to you too. I want to add your knowledge to my knowledge. And if you're unable to reach a good conclusion on how to manage twins or any other of these peculiar spouses, we will continue the conversation next week. أقول قولي هذا واستغفر الله لي ولكم. السلام عليكم.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته. وعليكم السلام.
Yes, I'm Shudi Kosu.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I'm sorry if I missed out.
Professor.
Oh, Microsoft is mute. Okay. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Alaikum.
Yes, sir. I'm sorry if I missed out this point, if you mentioned it, but I didn't hear you say anything about mixed gender twins. I'm not sure I had anything about that.
Oh, mixed gender twins. Yes, that's identical twins. Let me start from identical twins. Identical twins are quite more complex. Everything we say about about twins is times 2 for identical twins. They are more difficult to handle. Both as they are difficult to identify, they are more difficult to handle. Cross-gender. Cross-gender usually ruin their family because the lady is looking for a brother in marriage. When they are both females, they are looking for their fathers to marry. When they are both males, they are looking for the mother as well. But when one of them is male, the other is female, I have one that is difficult for me to manage in my area now. You know, the male has not married. The female had ruined her marriage, and she moves in to stay with her twin brother. They are adults. She has married, she has a child, she threw the marriage away and moved in with her daughter to live with her twin brother. The twin brother can't do anything about it. When the husband demanded for his daughter, she readily gave the daughter away to her father. And she continues to live as if she is wife to her twin brother. The fact that twins naturally do not like to be separated makes matter worse. If this twin I'm talking about married in Lagos, but ran away from her husband to live with her twin brother in Abuja here, it's a very difficult thing to understand. People are wondering, but may I know that it is because they are twins. They don't always want to separate. The natural love that exists between a brother and a sister is stronger if the two are twins, because they think alike. And the twin brother will not marry because the marriage of his twin sister has collapsed. So the blame is on the husband. The husband is a devil. They cannot see a third party. That's another problem with twins. Their husband is a third party. And that is why the complainer is always expecting somebody to support her, that her husband is bad. The other twins brother sister will make her feel terrible that her husband is actually bad. She's now looking for a third party to confirm her sister's perception of her husband, but she does not stupidly ask about the sister's husband because she's not going to talk. So they don't interrogate each other. They don't, whether they are cross-gender, whether they are both gender, they don't interrogate each other. They don't doubt anything from anybody. The men are, in a way, quite stupid. They're not smart. The men just regard the opinion of their brothers as correct. So if their brothers interpret their spouses as evil, they see it as evil. They see their spouses as evil. May Allah, yes, you are asking, Tawakkalt is asking whether we can find all these characteristics in devoted Muslim twins. Of course, of course. They are characteristics. What we think is devotion in Islam is just ritual, commitment. You know, this twin sister, the Muslim sister wears hijab. Life does not begin and end with hijab. You can only confirm from her husband how terrible she is. You know, so the terrible nature and characteristics of twins is not because they are bad. It is because that is their nature. So a husband who marries twin sister, who now begins to look at his wife as a bad person, is ignorant. He should know that his wife is a peculiar person due to biological circumstance. It is not that twins are bad. I mean, although many cultures look at them in a very crazy way, like the Yorubas comparing them with monkeys, something like that. All these things is just the mystery of their life. It takes extreme patience, extreme understanding. Once you gain their confidence and you are able to separate them from their twin sister, Allahu Akbar, you will enjoy life. A twin woman is ready to give her husband everything, provided the husband will not complain about her. Once you assume and you show your twin wife that she's an angel, Allahu Akbar, she will be an angel. Once you complain about a twin wife, you cause problem because inside them, they feel that they are the perfect human beings. And the next person that is perfect is their twin sister. Who are you? Ordinary person. Because they think they're mysterious. You are ordinary. An ordinary person cannot complain about a perfect person, a person who has come to this world with a partner, who has been so blessed. You know, we also attribute blessing to them, and it is not just attribution. It is mostly fact. Mostly, it's a fact. Mostly, they're not usually poor. Twins are usually rich. They're not poor. They always have opportunities that. Ibeji, go and be. I've forgotten that this professor is kind. You know, they are excellent people. The only thing is that they don't want people to come between them, and they don't want to be criticized. Once you leave a twin alone, they are excellent people. You will enjoy your marriage with the twin. But once you think a twin is ordinary like you, she will show you, especially she. The men, sometimes they just overlook, they just look at other people as stupid people. Inside them, they are not always, men are not always, forward. They are not always forward like females. So they need to be managed. And I'm sure Mrs. Professor Shitu will bear me out. If she's on this platform, she will bear me out that her husband is wonderful. And then whoever is married to a twin woman will bear me out that if you are not enjoying her, it is because you are mismanaging her. If you expect her to be like any other human being and you are expecting perfection from her, you are looking for trouble because she's also looking for perfection. And when two people are looking for perfection, they can't get it. One has to drop the idea of perfection. And it is very female. She's looking for an angel. She already thinks that she's an angel. So when you point it out to her, like you do to an average woman, that she's not an angel, she will spark. But in the twin woman, it is double. When a man who is a husband to a twin sister, let her know that she's not an angel, that man is looking for trouble. And he will get the trouble double. Unlike the man, when the man is criticized, he just laughs. He will just feel that, only your document, I want it. It's inside them. Wallahu alam. I'm confirming that, mashallah. Okay, very good, my sister, professor. So, Prof is confirming that our husband is wonderful. Our husband is wonderful. You greatly saying the truth. I can vividly remember all our twins we had in UNAP then. You were not intervened between them when they were quarreling. Yes, I never intervened. And then you cannot intervene. When you separate them, one will go down. You remember these two twins, Gaddafi and, is it Gaddafi and Qasim? One in Port Harcourt, one in Abeokuta. Once you separate them, anyhow, Aisha and Ashia, I remember them. Once you separate twins, one will go down, one will go up. It's Ramat and Nimat. Thank you very much, Tawakalt. Thank you very, very much. These are practical experiences. You need to be extremely patient to manage twins if you marry them. But I must tell you, they are bundles of blessings. Yes, when you physically separate twins, you must make it up by letting them meet occasionally. You must not complain that if your wife is twin and she spends so much time with her twin sister or brother, you must not complain. You must not complain. If your wife tells her twin brother everything about you, you must not complain. A situation where one of the twin is no more. Oh, when it's more, he or she becomes melancholic. Unless the spouse replaces the twin. And how does the spouse replace the twin? By making him, by making friends with him, always talking to him, always telling him everything, always making him or her the next best human being on earth. It will be, once they lose their twin brother or sister, they become melancholic. There are two extreme reactions. If they are women, they may like to divorce and be alone, or divorce and marry and remarry to punish themselves. If the another extreme is to now tie their spouse to themselves, to become possessive, converting their spouse to their twin brother or sister. And this is also very dangerous, because you can't replace me with your twin sister that is no more. But I can't explain to you, and you can't convince me too. So once in a while, even if the husband, and again, when they possess you by replacing their twin with you, or replacing you with their twin, using you to replace their twin, you enjoy it too, but it will be too much. It's a peculiar thing. So, okay, Marufa Taiwo too, alhamdulillah. that is the way. Alhamdulillah, there's a twin. There's another twin here. They are very, very wonderful. Anybody that is associated with twins will enjoy life. But when you treat them like ordinary, they will deal with you. You won't forget it. You won't forget you won't even forgive yourself for daring to alter their nature. It is their nature, and they are good, very good people, but very difficult to understand because they are naturally proud. Especially women, they only see themselves as good. Others are outsiders. Every other person is a third party, even their parents. Although it is their parents they love most. So after them is their parents. There are only 3 people in this world. Their twin, and their parents. So you are the 4th person. And then you are supposed to be the 3rd person, but you are the 4th person. So they are only managing you. But if you accept them and they accept you, they will soak you with love. Wọ́n sókè, wọ́n jẹ́ kí ìgbádùn kó fẹ́ sú ẹ. So this is the way they are. Thank you very much for this enrichment. Let's go back to the platform and see whether anybody is raising. And Adedayo Abdulrazak Abi.
We spend so much time on these twins rather than the other one that we have explained. One, sorry, I married a first daughter of a family, a firstborn.
So, where are you now? The background noise is too much.
Background noise is not me. I'm in a room that is very quiet. So, are you hearing me now?
Yeah, hearing you.
I married a firstborn, and you know the crisis that we went through. So I didn't want to say much before we stabilize. So what we are saying is true, but with patience, one can get over it. 2, I had twins as my immediate junior brother. I want to confirm the fact that one of them is successfully married, the other one is not. And the one that is married had tremendous, I want to say, impact on the family than the second one. And he's even spending his wealth to rescue his brother, because always from one trouble to the other. So what you are saying is correct in terms of if one of them is down, the other one will be up. My Kenny doesn't have a stable marriage. What I will had. And so what you are saying, so the fact of the twins are always there. Always there. And like you said too, if you manage them very well, you will enjoy them. The thing you cannot do is you cannot close in the affair. If you report Taiwo to Kennedy, he's going to hear. If you report Kennedy to Taiwo, they will tell themselves when they do their quarrel. You'll be the middle person. So when they are quarreling, just stay mute, just keep away. If they tell you anything, just hear, don't act on it. But when the fight finish, they will come back to you. And then you become the enemy between the 2 of them. So it's a factor about twins. About the firstborn, who are a woman. The last of us. I think you have, like I said, you know much. I didn't want to say anything. But alhamdulillah for today, with patience, we are able to weather the storm. But it's not easy. When you marry a firstborn, a woman, you must exercise a lot of patience. And then with prayer, allow something to ground. Assalamu
alaikum. Alaikum salam. Yeah, last comment, Nurat. Professor.
Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Alaikum salam.
Jazakallahu khair.
Wa iyaki.
I happen to be married to a twin too. And I know that most of the things, it's just that there is nothing you can do right. Nothing you can do. The sister, he is looking for the sister in you. In fact, I actually chose both of us. I was bearing the same name with the twin sister. So
That is why he married you in the first place.
So when I was not able to fit into her shoe, it was serious problem. So my own question now is, as for the firstborn, lastborn, and others, how do we prepare our children to be better, whatever their position is in marriage? That's my question.
Yeah, the answer is simple. Show them good example. Naturally, boys will want to treat their wives the way their father treats their mother. Boys will go to market if they have followed their father to the market before. Boys will cook if they have seen their father cook before. Boys will bully if their father bullies their mother. As for the girls, you must prepare her as a wife material. And the girl would be as good as you are if the father is treating you well. Unfortunately, the girl will follow her father, even if her father is wrong. It's unfortunate. We have not seen the answer to that question. Why? Why does an average girl not see the wrongness? If there's a word like that, she does not see her father being wrong most of the time. And so she prepares to marry a man that would deal with her the way her father deals with her mother, except if it is abusive, except if it is violent, except if the abuse is physical. If it is just emotional, if it is just complaining, bullying, and so on, she takes it as a normal thing that a man will do to a woman, to the extent that if she happens to marry a gentle man, she will write him. She will say he's not a man enough. This is not the kind of man she knows in her father. It's unfortunate, but this is what we are saying. So we have to show good example. And when they are maturing, when they are, as the mother, you do your best. If the father misbehaves, let the children know that this is wrong, but they should not hate their father. They should not blame their father. You can say, you can look for excuse why the father misbehaves. Yeah, yes, I can see that your dad did this, but you see, he's going through certain psychological problem. I'm sorry. On behalf of daddy, I'm sorry. Otherwise, when the children hate their fathers, they'll be 3 times worse. If you remember things fall apart, Okonkwo wasn't going to be like his father, and he overdid it. It's psychological. May Allah save our marriages. May Allah save our children. May Allah assist us to manage our peculiar spouses. Continue from next week. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم. ربنا اغفر لنا ذنوبنا وإسرافنا في أمرنا. ثبت أقدامنا وانصرنا على القوم الكافرين. ربنا هب لنا من أزواجنا
We want to appreciate everybody that attended our
Connect to appreciate you. Connect to yeah. Connect to yeah now.
What is that?
When you are making noise,
Kí ni máàmù sọ ń pa mi o?
this is
Background
to
noise ọjà gbọ́
appreciate
o.
everybody who has attended both online and offsite the National Women's Forum Association.